What's happening out there? Welcome to the Man on the Moon world, where we learn, explore, and inspire. Here at the Man on the Moon world, if it has a motor and goes fast, I'll probably talk about it. I'll take you to places you've been and some places you probably haven't. Exit 233, Morrow, Georgia, Thunder Tower West. I have the distinct pleasure of sitting down with Sean Preston now. Sean Preston's been missing from the scene for a while, but now he's back. Welcome to the Man on the Moon world.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, man. I've been fortunate enough to follow your exploits on social media, and I'm happy to be here.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I bought you some gifts, man. I got you a nice mug and a T-shirt. You know, the Man on the Moon world's always got gifts to share. So
normally I'm on the other end of the gifts. I'm not the receiver. I'm the giver, but I certainly appreciate it. I wear this with dignity and honor.
There you go.
Appreciate
and we got a coffee cup. I know you don't drink coffee.
That's right.
So those of you out there who don't know, Sean Preston and myself, we go back a long way because I actually worked at this dealership. I started working here in 2015, I do believe. So with that being said, the Sean Preston show is about to start. So first of all, you're an avid biker, motorcyclist, and motorcycle dealer. So let's dig into your roots first of all.
So it's funny you say that, right? So I love motorcycles. I mean, I live and breathe motorcycles. As a young man, you know, growing up in Detroit, we had mini bikes.
We
right?
did.
Ride the mini bikes around the alley.
We
didn't
did.
have brakes, so we stopped with our feet, right? Fortunately, there was a lot of dirt in the alley, so you didn't break an ankle. But you know, it kind of started there, and then you know, throughout the years growing up, my father had motorcycles, and he was actually a vice president, I believe it was, or president of a motorcycle club, the Jacks of Hearts, I believe it was called, maybe in the Queens of Hearts. Don't quote me on that.
Watch out! Don't get in trouble now.
Jacks of Hearts, but you know, and then being around motorcycles, watching him ride, and being on the back of the bike, you know, just naturally gaining that appreciation for what it meant to be in that fellowship. It just was something I really enjoyed. I you know, throughout my younger life, I didn't pursue it, but fortunately, my father didn't let his passion, you know, end at just riding, right? So, you know, he took his passion and grew it into, you know,
a business,
into these businesses that you know, we're so fortunate to have in our community, right? I know a lot of people talk about black owned and things like that, and that's not something that my father has ever hung his hat on. It's been a passion of his. It had nothing to do with color, and it somehow manifests itself into that, right? Just based upon the community.
So just to interrupt you real quick, for those who don't know what you're speaking of, we're talking about the Thunder Tower West brand.
Yeah, Thunder Tower West and Thunder Tower East, if you will, Columbia, were both you know, concepts of my father's, starting back in, you know, like 2000. I can tell you a brief story I'm going to share with you.
We
right?
got time. Come on.
So this is probably around 2002, 2003. I am at home in Detroit, and my father had came by. He was taking a trip on his Harley, and he went, you know, cross country, riding all over. And you know, as you do, I found out later when I became a rider, right? As you do, when you go, you stop at every Harley Davidson dealership along the way, right? So he's doing this, and he's gaining this fond appreciation for the brand, and you know, he's fellowshipping with other riders as well as, you know, dealers. And so, like 2 weeks later, man, he shows up on my doorstep. It's like, I don't know, 8 in the morning on a Saturday, you know, knocks on the door, and I come to the door, and you know, the kids get up. You know, my older son Quinn would have been about 6 years old at the time. He comes to the door, rubbing his eyes. Oh, you know, Papa Gene's here, and the bike's in the driveway, and you know, and like I said, I had this infantile love for motorcycles, but I didn't have it like I do now. And as he had it at this moment in his life. But yeah, he comes to the door, and I'm standing, I'm holding the door open, and he says, I figured out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. And I'm thinking, gosh, this is going to be a profound statement, right? Knowing my father, knowing all he's accomplished throughout his life, this is going to be some profound statement, right? And he says, I'm going to open a Harley Davidson dealership. 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I said? I'm going to leave out the explicitive.
Okay.
I said, my inheritance, goodbye. And I closed the door in his face.
No, you didn't.
And, then opened the door back. And he was serious. I could tell it was something that, there was a journey there, right? This was not about the destination. He had arrived at this place over a long period of time. And as we talked about it, even as recently as last year, we still have this, this discussion about how you got to be where we are today, right? And it's, it was not just that motorcycle ride and meeting the people. It was personal experiences, even here in this community, with trying to purchase a motorcycle.
Right.
Being at places and seeing how people were interacted with, and just so happens that they were people of color, right? And but his motives for doing it was to provide a premium experience for everybody. This is not, we say this a lot, but it's so true. Some of the most generous and kind people you'll ever meet are on two wheels.
Yeah.
Just people who are very giving of themselves and want to be part of their community and help out in any way they can. So I think that was a huge motivator for him, was just being able to, to take that and see that manifest into something that he could put his trademark on, being Thunder Tower, and try to influence people from all cultures to be better and to do more for each other. So, I'm blessed, man. I'm telling you, this is like, you said it at the onset, right? We started out together, right? Years ago, as co-workers, and
let me interrupt you real quick, because that profound statement that you were looking for from your father, I think you just articulated it the way it should have been said. That was beautiful, man.
Thank you.
So, but moving on, I mean, the experience of Thunder Tower East and Thunder Tower West from a personal side, I mean, these are two beautiful buildings. They've been in business for a while, and the community loves coming to see you guys, man. So we appreciate it. If nobody said thank you for what you guys do in the community, the motorcycle community definitely appreciates what you guys do.
Yeah, we appreciate the motorcycling community. I mean, that's ultimately, like I said, why we do this. It's all about community, fellowshipping, sharing with people. We had this past Sunday, so Saturday was my dad's birthday, 76th birthday.
Before we go to your dad's birthday, you actually had a birthday before his. So
yeah. So I just had my double nickel, as we call it, right?
Oh.
So I'm officially, I guess, in the club. But so for my dad's birthday, we do a birthday ride, and so the weather wasn't that amicable yesterday.
It was damn cold.
Yeah, it was damn cold. So, but we still had a good turnout, and it was a good ride, and it just showed that people will come out and support you, in tough times and in good times. We didn't have the turnout that we obviously would have expected had the weather been nicer, but it was still just such a pleasure to see people from both stores, right? So people left from Columbia, and they met us over at the restaurant here in North Augusta, old McDonald's Fish Camp.
Okay.
We sat there, we had a great meal, we took a lot of pictures, and just like anything else with this, man, there's expectations, and then there's the adversity, right? So what inevitably happens, right? Somebody has a problem with their bike on the way, right? And
Always.
It's like, what do you do, right? And it's like you got the people there that know what to do, and have the resources and can make decisions. And it's like, you tend to take that for granted, because you take your car to the car dealership and you drop it off and stuff just happens, right? You don't have an influence on any of that. You're driving down the road, your car breaks down. What do? You just call somebody and they pick it up, and but you're not riding in a group of 50 cars, right?
Right.
It's a group of 50 bikes, and something happens, and everybody pulled together. Hey, this guy's on the phone calling. Hey, I can get my guy over here to come with a trailer. My sister-in-law lives about 10 miles from here. We can drop it off at her house. If we can get it there, I'll ride it. So it was just so empowering to see, everybody really just jump at the opportunity to help. Even though not one of us was a technician, not one of us could turn a wrench. We couldn't fix nothing, but everybody had some input. So, that just reinforces why we do this, because the person who had that unfortunate incident, at the end of the day, they got home safe. They were happy. Their bike's in good hands, and they're going to ride with us again. So,
and they have a story to tell.
And they have a story to tell, just as I do. So, yeah, man, it's been a great past week with our 2 birthdays happening at the same time. And, we're going to share many more together, so I look forward to it.
So let's go back to Sean Preston. Now, you're from Detroit.
Right on.
You graduated from Michigan, so you're Wolverine.
I'm a Wolverine.
Yeah. You've got, how many sons do you have, man?
I have 4 boys.
4 boys.
Yep.
Now, they're big into hockey.
Yeah, so that's an understatement, right? So I'm a proud and doting father, and, I can't skate. So let's just get that out the way. They didn't learn any of their hockey.
Hold on, but where did your sons go to school?
So, so one went to Eastern Michigan.
Okay.
My
go green, go white.
Yeah, right on. My next oldest son, he just graduated from Ohio State last year. So that was a toughie, right? I'm gonna tell you, that was tough to. House divided. Very happy. I wore all of the Ohio State stuff every game and. Every weekend to support him. But it was tough, man. People that know me know I'm a diehard Michigan fan, and they wouldn't let me live it down. When they see me wearing it, and they would just give me
it tickled me pink.
All of the same thing I would have given to them, right? So, and then my next son, Colin, he's 19. He's actually on his way to nationals this week for hockey. He's playing at a really high level, but. Yeah, my oldest played at Eastern Michigan. Like I said, Quinn, my next oldest son, he played at Ohio State. He's actually playing pro hockey now in the ECHL.
Really?
Yeah, he got drafted to Toledo Walleyes, played there for a part of a season, and then he just got traded to a team in Kansas. In Kansas, Wichita, the Thunder. So he's playing there. Colin, like I said, is off doing his thing in nationals, and my son Caden, he's not so much into hockey, he's football, baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, but proud, man. Very proud of all my kids, and just happy to see them doing what makes them happy.
Good. Now, you were here in Atlanta and back in Detroit. Now you're back here in Atlanta again, and I was lucky enough to catch you when you were here. So I was like, hey, Sean, man, I'd really love to sit down with you and chop it up. So what's on the horizon for you, man? What's going on?
So I'm glad you said that, Clarence. Right. So let me just kind of, for those of you who don't know, which is probably everybody, right? The way my journey started with Thunder Tower, right? I started out at Christmas 2008. I joined the business in Columbia, and my passion from there, man, for the people. It just took off, right? I knew I wanted to be around this. I knew I wanted to be involved. I didn't really know what that meant organically. I was just like mentally, I'm like, this is just, I can just see me doing this. And then you start to meet people. You start to, learn more about motorcycling, about that community, that environment, that culture. And then you start to learn the business. And so, now
what's your background?
So my background is, I worked. For many years, I worked in automotives, right? I worked for all the big 3, GM, Ford, and Chrysler. And I've done various things at each. I've worked anywhere from manufacturing engineering, controls engineering. I was an electrician, maintenance supervisor. So I've done a lot in automotive. So it was not a direct transition for me, right? It wasn't like these things were connected, right? But I know I love being around people. So for me, that part of it became real easy. And getting into the business, when I did, I was afforded the opportunity to kind of maneuver myself around the dealership in various positions, right? I love when guys talk about, yeah, man, I started as a porter, and I'm like, that's great, man. That's great. That's exactly how the process should happen. You should work your way into where you really want to be. And I fortunately was given that opportunity. I did a lot of things in the years I worked at Thunder Tower, Columbia. Fast forward to when you and I met, when we, took over here in Clayton County, Thunder Tower West. I came into here and it was a different environment. It was a huge learning curve. I knew what I knew about the business, but this was a different environment people-wise,
Yeah.
right?
It's a different demographic here in South Carolina.
Different,
Yeah.
totally different, right? And just trying to find where we fit in, right? I knew where I fit in, right? I'm a motorcyclist. I fit in with the people. I fit in here, right?
I can ride with you. Let's go.
Right, that's it, right? We've done
We've
done our share.
We've done the 285 thing.
We've done our share. But just getting here and really trying to find our niche and to make this brand relevant in this community. And I'll be honest with you, we're still finding that we haven't fully achieved that today, right? People know Thunder Tower. They know Thunder Tower West. It's still tough getting the brand and what the brand truly means, right? So, I started out by saying my dad's, vision was to give a premium experience, right, to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that premium experience, it kind of fluctuates between individuals, right? What I consider a premium experience and what you consider a premium experience are probably very similar. Some people think a premium experience is I'm giving you a motorcycle, and that's not an experience. Anybody can give you something, right? I got a bunch of junk in my house I'm giving away, right? And nobody wants it. I don't even want it. Doesn't mean there's any value in it, right? It's about what is value added in what I get in what I give you and what that experience entails, right? So part of it is, making sure that people realize that, we do this out of love, right? Everybody's doing something to make money. Don't get me wrong. This is a career. This is a job. It is a place of employment for a lot of people, right? It's not just me working here. It's not just my father owning the business. We employ a lot of people, and those people have families that depend on this business to be, profitable and to be successful. And so when we talk about a premium experience, we're going to give you the best deal, that we can do and keep the lights on. That's the end of the day. That is the bottom line. But our experience transcends that initial investment, right? You're making a monetary investment on a motorcycle. We're making a personal investment in our customer. We don't want you to come here for like, hey, I got a great price, but I can't go back there to get my clothing or my parts or my service because, I feel like, I'm not going to get a great experience. We want everybody to feel that they got a great price, but they can also come here and can have a continued experience, right? Because that's what ultimately that journey that my dad took was about, right? It was about going to different dealerships and some of them opening the door for you and welcoming you in and shaking your hand and making you feel welcome, and you didn't buy anything, right? And then other ones, when you walk in, it was like, hey, I want your money. Oh, you're not giving me your money? Okay, well, you're not really welcome here if you're not giving me your money, right?
Yeah.
So, we do a lot of things that, it kind of takes people, it takes them by shock sometimes, and some people take it for granted. It's like, why do you have events at the dealership? Because we do it whether, people come and buy stuff or they don't, right? We do it because we want people to come and feel welcome here. Ultimately, I want to do business somewhere that I feel welcome. I can always say, I can go to Lowe's and I can get a great price for something, right? I can go to Ace Hardware and get the same thing. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's in my community, and it's part of my community. So mom and pop, as opposed to big box, if you're in the community, you get it.
It seems as though the Thunder Tower brand in Thunder Tower West especially, there is an organic appeal to the community that you guys have cultivated. A number of motorcycle events take place here, and a lot of the motorcycle community, when there's a function or something to be had, they always kind of flock here, which is a good thing. So that's that organic mixture that I like. And one thing you said as well, as far as the premium experience, one thing that I personally enjoyed about working and selling Harley Davidsons was I didn't want to sell you one motorcycle. I wanted to sell you 3 motorcycles.
Absolutely.
And it's all about that relationship. And I did my best to try to build some type of relationship with everybody I sold a motorcycle to. And to this day, if I've sold you a motorcycle, you've tapped me on my shoulder and was like, man, guess what? Remember that bike you sold me? I still have it. And nothing brings me more joy than that.
Yeah, right on. And that's why we're sitting here today, right? Because we have a relationship based upon the same thing, right? The experience that we shared.
Yeah.
Right? So, the point you make about the motorcycling community and us being kind of a hub for a lot of events and things that some of the major clubs in Atlanta they do and they set out. It's not by accident, man. It's not by accident. We don't turn people away, right? We are willing to take a risk, willing to take a chance and see where things go. And we don't make decisions based upon appearance or what people say. We'll sit down and talk with anybody about anything. We have I can't even tell you how many different motorcycle organizations, clubs, MCs, MCSs, and everything.
Whatever they call them these days, all kind of
so
alphabets
things,
going
right?
on. Yeah.
That meet here on a regular basis, and have their monthly meetings here. We wanted to feel like home for anybody. Everybody's welcome at Thunder Tower West. That's truly the message. We don't we don't discriminate, and given an opportunity, we'll open the doors up for anybody that wants to come and be a part of what we are trying to share with the community.
So for the longest, your dad has been at the reins. So, time's going to come when he's going to sit on the porch and want to drink some lemonade. What's on the future, man? When are you going to grab this thing by the reins? He's been on the porch
drinking lemonade for so long. Let me tell you. So one of the hardest working men I've known in my life, right? I have the utmost love and respect for my father. There's, like I said, I worked many years in automotives, and every opportunity I've had to share a nugget that my father has imparted into me, I share that wisdom with other people. Yeah. And sometimes you can just see the light bulb go off, and they're like, "Oh man, I never thought about that." I'm like, "Aha!" Neither had I until
he's got some nuggets. That's for sure. Yeah, he's got some nuggets.
Until Gene Preston shared it with me. So, like I said, the reason that I'm here is because of my father, and I mean that wholeheartedly, right? If I thought for 1 minute that there was something better for me to be doing with my life, I'd be doing it. And I know that, this is his legacy. This is something that will carry his name forever. And I just, I was talking to him a few weeks ago, me and my wife, I recently got married, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Right. So me and my wife were going out to dinner. And I called to make a reservation, Mancy's down in Ohio, okay. Right? Steakhouse. And I called, and I got the recording. And the recording says, Mancy's proudly serving the Toledo community for over 100 years. And in that moment, I just kind of had this, lump in my throat. And I called him, and I told him, I said, I was on the phone, just making a reservation. He knows Mancy's, right? He worked not far from there, and he's told me stories. They used to cater lunch into the plant until they realized how much money it was costing them, and they stopped. But I just said, man, how neither of us will obviously be around to hear that, but I would love for somebody to pick up the phone, 80 years from now, and hear, hey, Thunder Tower Harley Davidson, Thunder Tower West, Harley Davidson, Thunder Tower North, Thunder Tower South, proudly serving the community for 100 years. And, if I can be a catalyst in that happening, then that's something that I definitely, want to be a part of. And like I said, this is his legacy, man. I'm just thrilled to be a part of this continued success and bringing his dreams and his vision, to the community and to whatever communities this reaches in the future. So, yeah, man, this is not about him hanging up the sneakers and because he's not hanging up the helmet, he's not hanging up the the gloves. He's hanging up the sneakers and gonna put on the boots. And my only hope, really, Clarence, is as this thing progresses, man, is that I have enough time to enjoy him in this time, right? So him and I 2 years ago, we took a motorcycle ride. It was incredible, bro. It was just him and I, incredible. And him transitioning out of the business at some point, giving him more time to do that. It's like, man, it was like that was the moment I was like, well, at some point I want to be able to be there when he does that so that I can enjoy that time with him. And I gotta figure that part out. So that for me is that's the hard part about being here right now is when he's when he gets on the bike, and says, "Hey, I'm going to California."
I couldn't believe he did that one.
Right. So you feel me, right? So when he says I'm going to California, I want to be able to say, okay, what time are we leaving? And me and him get on the bikes and we go and just enjoy ourselves. Because he's got a ton of friends that ride, and they're all, they're all these guys, right? They're these and ladies, right? They love to ride. They'll ride across the country in a minute. But I just thought, man, we had so much fun. We've ridden. That wasn't our first long ride, but it was the first one we've done just him and I. So I want to make sure that as he is able to enjoy these moments, hopefully stress free and that I'm able to enjoy some of them alongside of him. So
good. And the great thing about this conversation that we're having right now, we're throwing all these flowers at your dad. He happens to be sitting in the room with us as well, so he's just sitting over there smiling. He's enjoying the conversation. But, hey, man, Thunder Tower West here in Morrow, Georgia, has been a place where hundreds, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people have been through the doors since I've been here. I still remember when we did the biker build-off. Yeah. And we had drones flying and political, congressmen walking around the dealership. That was a great event, man. And it's amazing that through the years that has continued, man. People have continued coming here.
So that's a great segue, right, Clarence? Because that's one of the things that we're going to really focus on here, and not just in the near future, but as part of our, if you will, rebirth, right? Is going to be how do we do things not just bigger, right? Because bigger isn't always better, right? So we want to figure out how do we leave a lasting footprint on the community, but also how do we do that in a way that where people feel like they had a really memorable experience. So you just named a great one, that biker build off. There's people who still they talk about that to this day, right? And that was a great event.
And if you think about it, but let me interrupt you, it was the first time we really did a sound competition in the city.
That's right.
And look how that has just taken off over the years.
Everybody's doing them. And we do them here still. We still do them here. So, that's something that we can take and learn from, right? So it's and that was something that took a lot of planning, right? So we recognize it's you can do a lot of things okay, or you can do a few things and do them really well, right? So we've got some reoccurring things, right? We do a Thursday night, Thunder Thursdays, every Thursday, 6 o'clock until 10. Bike nights here at the dealership.
Okay.
We do a happy hour Fridays from 2 to 6. Happy hour, right? So wings and beer, right?
Really?
Wings and beer
at Thunder Tower West.
Thunder Tower West, wings and beer come in. We do test rides, of course, before the beer. We'll have everybody on staff, just like normal, and just being able to really, take time, right? And that's what I'm saying. I mean, take time with our customers and people and potential customers, right? If you never shopped with Thunder Tower, Thunder Tower West, come in and give us a look, right? It's just, you may see something that you like, you may see something that you don't like, but we're here trying to get people to see that there's other sides to the way to motorcycle and to enjoy yourself. We had several rides where cages. We let cages come. People like, you don't do that. But people want to be a part of it. You got to find a way to let everybody be a part of it. But so as we continue this rebirth, right? There's a lot of moving pieces. I'm not at liberty to discuss them all with you right now, but off the air we can talk, right?
We'll be back to do this.
We'll do it again. Right on. But off the air we can talk about some of the things that we've got in the pipeline. But we are making a huge investment in people, right? Because without people, we cannot deliver the experience that we want to give our customers.
The most important asset are the people.
Most important. So, right now, and anybody out here listening, if you're looking for, a job, hit us up, man. We're hiring in just about every department, especially if you've got motorcycle experience. And if you don't, we're training. But we're making a huge investment in our staff, and that way we can give everybody the experience that we feel they deserve, right? It's not something you didn't come to us and ask us to be here, right? Nobody knocked on the door and said, Gene, will you come here, right?
That's right. We're
here because we want to be a part of this community. We want to offer up something that, maybe you haven't seen or maybe you haven't experienced. Having said that, we don't always get it right? And that's just a fact. I mean, we're human like everybody else, but we learn from our mistakes and we make improvements. One of the things that we learn most from is from our customers and from the community. And so, when people come in and say, hey, man, I didn't like this, we take personal note of those things. And we make sure that, in the future, they don't happen. Now, some people may come here and say they didn't like something. That's just how we roll. This is a motorcycle environment, right? So, you don't come here and say it was too loud and, there was too much noise and my dog got scared and you may have to leave your dog at home. We are dog friendly, we pet friendly, but, there's certain things that are to be expected in this environment. But, a big part of this is, taking every opportunity and making it unique. So, we don't want to make this a cookie cutter where everybody comes in and it's the same warmy feely, right? Everybody is treated as an individual. And like I said, in order to do that, we have to make sure that we have people that also, are cut from the same cloth as we are, So you worked here, so.
Man on the Moon World here at Thunder Tower West in Morrow, Georgia. We're here with Sean Preston, and we're just talking about Thunder Tower West and what they're doing moving forward. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing the Man in the Moon World to come in here and have this interview with you. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to sit down again in the near future and chop it up again. But, to wrap this thing up, I know you got motorcycles to sell and telephone calls to answer. Where do you see the dealership in the next 6 months? I mean, what do you see? What's on the horizon here, man?
So that's a great question, Clarence. And it's something that, honestly, I ask myself on a daily basis, and I ask my staff on a daily basis, right? Where do you guys see this thing, not just in 6 months, there's a lot of moving parts, right? The economy's changed, the world has changed, right? And the community around us is changing accordingly. We're finding that we're not able to get motorcycles as quickly as we used to. You can't get parts as quickly as you used to. It still says Harley Davidson over the door, right? People come here expecting that experience. And so, sometimes it's a struggle to meet everyone's expectations. We are not giving up.
Okay.
Right? We're up to the fight. This is something that, we're slowly feeding into our pipeline that, we have to still maintain the same expectation, the same level of expectations of our customers, of ourselves as our customers do, right? So You know, we've got a couple really key players coming on in the next, actually one today, and another in a couple weeks. That's going to really reinforce our upper ranks. That's going to help us to put better processes in place and to get ourselves poised for when the season really gets going here, right? Because it's
We're
right
on the
around
cusp
the
of
corner.
it right now. Yeah.
We are, we are here to sell motorcycles. No bones about it. So if anybody tells you they came to Thunder Tower West or Thunder Tower and they couldn't buy a motorcycle, it wasn't because of us.
The motto that was up on the wall, what did it say? If you bought your motorcycle somewhere else, you paid too much for it?
That's what it said. And at the end of the day, that's what it means, right? And there's some things that prevent me from saying certain things over the air, but like I said, we're here to sell motorcycles.
Okay.
If you want to buy a motorcycle in the Atlanta area, you need to come to Thunder Tower West. There's no other way to say it. You can, shop everywhere else, get what you think is your best deal, come see me, and we're going to sell you a motorcycle.
Sean Preston, Thunder Tower West, here with the Man on the Moon World. Thanks again for allowing us to come in, and I see motorcycles in your future.
Right on.
All right, we'll see you guys soon, man. Peace out
Appreciate
there.
you.